Welcome to the AI and Future of Work podcast. I'm Marcus Chen, joined by Sofia Rodriguez. Today, we're diving deep into travel-ready ethics, build an AI compliance and ethics checker for digital nomads, and how it can transform your life as a digital nomad. If you want to work smarter, earn more, and reclaim your time through AI, you're in the right place. Let's get into it.
Let's make this actually work for you. Today, we'll show a compact ethics-first pipeline you can set up in an afternoon to triage contracts, redact sensitive data, and flag IP or privacy issues while you travel. This is about keeping clients safe and preserving your freedom to move.
Hook. Picture this. A freelance designer lands a big client while backpacking in Southeast Asia. 4 weeks in, a client contract demands data transfer to a partner in a country with strict IP rules. The designer missed that clause, delivered files, and suddenly faced a contract cliff and a threatened payment hold. That was avoidable with a quick compliance triage. This changes everything for nomads who can't afford those surprises.
I have heard variants of that story too many times. The promise here is ethics-first automation. Automated checks that surface risk, keep sensitive data local when needed, and always hand the final call to a human. By the end of this episode, you'll have exact prompts, a recommended stack comparison, and a one-afternoon implementation checklist.
Section 1. The current problem. Nomads face 4 concrete pains: cross-border data exposure when you sync client files, ambiguous IP clauses in contracts, manual and slow contract review, and the time drain of ad hoc privacy checks. Those tasks steal cash-earning hours and increase legal risk. The simple truth: manual checks don't scale when you're on the move.
Add to that the ethical dimension. Clients expect you to protect their data and IP. If you move data between jurisdictions without consent or strip away required protections, you can do harm even when unintentional. An ethics-first pipeline must surface context, provide conservative recommendations, and preserve the human review gate.
Section 2. High-level AI solution. The architecture is simple and modular. A policy engine that codifies rules, a classifier to triage documents, a PII redactor for sensitive fields, a copyright IP flagger, a vector store for precedent and retrieval, plus a human-in-loop review dashboard. Design trade-offs. Central cloud calls are fast but risk data residency. Local models are slower but preserve privacy. We'll map those trade-offs in the next section.
Ethical guardrails I insist on. Always log decisions. Provide an explainability summary when a document is flagged, and require explicit human approval before any action that affects client rights or data sharing. The system should ask, can this be anonymized and handled locally? If not, escalate.
Section 3. Tool and stock comparison, demonstration, implementation, results, and pitfalls. First, the stocks. Option A. OpenAI or similar hosted LLMs plus a vector DB like Pinecone or Milvus for precedent and fast retrieval. Pros: best-in-class language understanding and low overhead. Cons: data residency concerns and API costs. Option B. Local LLMs on-device or on a travel laptop using quantized models plus on-device rule engine. Pros: privacy and control. Cons: heavier setup and occasionally lower accuracy. Option C. Specialist compliance APIs like Privacera or Termly for regulatory checks. Pros are domain expertise and maintained rules. Cons are cost and less customization.
For nomads, I usually recommend a hybrid. Use hosted LLMs for non-sensitive triage and local LLMs or redaction tools for data that includes PII. Keep a policy layer that decides which route each document takes. That balances latency, cost, and privacy.
Demonstration. 3 runnable prompts you can paste into a pipeline. First, contract risk triage. Prompt: you are a compliance triage assistant. Review the following contract clause and classify risk level as low, medium, or high. Explain the reasoning in 1 paragraph and list any clauses that require human review. Then include the contract text. Second, PII redaction prompt. Identify and redact any personal data from this document. Replace names with redacted name, emails with redacted email, phone numbers with redacted phone. Provide a count of redacted items. Third, IP/copyright flagging. Scan the work for potential third-party copyrighted content, explain the risk, and suggest next steps. Obtain license, remove content, or request client confirmation. Use generous examples and keep the output structured JSON for the next step in the pipeline.
Curious. Concrete example outputs matter. Before, the designer reads a 12-page contract and spends 2 hours guessing whether a data transfer clause applies. After, the triage prompt labels the clause high for cross-border transfer, redacts PII, and creates a 1-paragraph explanation for a human reviewer. Time saved? About 4 hours each week on average for freelancers who do regular contract work.
Implementation checklist you can do in an afternoon. 1. Ingest. Connect your email or cloud folder with a watcher that forwards new client docs. 2. Schema. Store metadata. Client, jurisdiction, doc type, received date. 3. Prompt templates. Save the 3 prompts I just read as templates. Example template name, contract triage v1. 4. Vectorize key clauses and store in Pinecone or Milvus for precedent matching. 5. Redaction. Run PII redactor either via local regex plus ML model or a redaction API for sensitive items. 6. Alerting. Push flagged items to a lightweight dashboard. Notion, Airtable, or a simple Slack channel with an approve or escalate button. 7. SOP. Human-in-loop review rules. Who signs off, SLA for responses, and logging.
Exact config snippet you can read into your engineer or build yourself. Store each document as client, Acme, jurisdiction, DE, doc type, contract, text. Use the classifier to produce risk level, high, flags, cross-border transfer, IP transfer clause, explanation. Keep logs for 90 days and encrypt the vector store at rest. These are spoken-friendly specs, short lines you can copy into a config file.
Real Nomad results. 2 quick cases. Case 1, solo designer. Before, 6 hours a week on manual checks. 1 near-miss unpaid invoice after a licensing dispute. After, pipeline trimmed manual time to 2 hours a week, flagged ambiguous license language before delivery, and the client added a small clarifying amendment. Outcome, 4 hours saved and avoided a potential 5-figure dispute. Case 2, micro agency. Before, slow onboarding and client churn due to slow contract reviews. After, standardized triage, faster proposals, improved client trust, and a 12% uplift in proposal acceptance.
Potential pitfalls and mitigations. Automated systems produce false positives and false negatives, calibrate thresholds, and keep a review gate. Regulatory nuance differs by jurisdiction. Don't automate final legal interpretation. Data residency risk. Route sensitive docs to local models or redaction before cloud. And finally, over-automation erodes trust if you remove human review. Make the human the final authority and log why decisions were made.
Now the practical CTA. We built a free Nomad compliance starter kit with the prompt templates, a 1-page checklist, the comparison matrix, and a sample Notion dashboard. Head to nomadlifesuccess.com/AI tools to download it. Submit 1 contract clause you want triaged and we'll feature community triage results in a future episode. Automate the ordinary, amplify the extraordinary.
And a quick reminder, start small but think big. Try the redaction template on 1 client file, validate outputs manually for 2 weeks, then expand. If you want help, our starter kit includes a checklist for an afternoon build and a sample SOP for human-in-loop review.
That's our complete breakdown of travel-ready ethics. Build an AI compliance and ethics checker for digital nomads. Remember, automate the ordinary, amplify the extraordinary. Head to nomadlifesuccess.com/AI tools to access our full AI toolkit, including Dream Guide AI and LifePath AI. While you're there, check out our online courses and audio courses. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.